This ball bow class will focus a lot on the shoulders, but also on the space in the shoulders, and also in the space in the hip. And in Bowspring, we see everything three-dimensional or even five-dimensional. We are more talking about space than just stretching. We're working a lot with the idea of roundness. And that's why the ball can help us a lot. Also, this ball helps us because it is presenting somehow the elasticity in the ball, but we will also feel it in the body. So what we will use a lot of time today is the idea that the armpits having a own space, a round space. In German we call it Achselhöhle. So this is like a own bubble. So imagine when we're working on that, a little fist, maybe not my size, but a baby fist, is pushing inside, giving this hollow dome shape, and then somehow from under lifting it up. It is not the trapezius, it is more the latissimus, the ribs on the side and on the back, which support the shoulder, the scapula rising to the side and up, the clavicula going out, but we're creating this idea of, sort of ball shape. So to understand this, really take your thumb in the armpit and even massage it a bit and give it more space. So the things we are used to do is like pushing the shoulders down, and then you feel the thumb get a squeeze. Now we will lift inside. We want to find the middle here, and from there activate the tissue, really the skin here, to hollow, widen from inside. And I hope you can see it in my shoulders. They're getting wider, they're getting more dimensional. And then the next step is like pushing softly, really thinking on bones, the humerus bone to the side, that you're creating more space in the cavity of the shoulder joint. And at the end, we're even spiraling the biceps out. So we have a hollow space in the shoulder, we have a wide space, and we have a spiral in the upper arm. This somehow roots the joint and the bones in the joint better together. Yeah, this we will use a lot. Now take your ball and lean over the ball. See what happens when you can lean over. So you can release the head, the neck, but on the other hand, the ribs getting a stretch, really finding the space between the ribs, even massage it a bit. And then from here, go again to the armpit and the scapula. Pull it a bit out. Then even here, spiral the arm and stretch and breathe. Maybe also going to the lower arm. Turn the lower arm a bit in and pull it out while you're leaning over the ball. Do this a few times. Breathe into the upper ribs, widening them, and feel that the reaching, starting even in the hips. Use the foot, push the foot in the earth, and releasing the hips. One more time, just stretching here. Wow. Woo. And then change to the other side. Now you feel already that this side opens up. So see what you can release, see what you can expand. Expand the space between the ribs. Expand the space in the shoulder. External rotation, upper arm. Internal rotation, lower arm, and even external rotation, hand. But maybe this is too much information. Release the head, open the ribs, breathe in it. Inhale, even widening it more. 1, 2, 3 more here. I could even play a bit with different directions. And now you feel really the side body open. Now let's go to the back ribs. Really hugging your board, releasing your head maybe to the side or to the front. Take care that this space is okay. You can sit down or you can hang over, what feels the best. Now focusing on the back lower ribs. Breathe into your hands or into the space between the ribs. Focusing on the inhalation, focusing on the diaphragm, which push down to the side and back. Ooh, makes knack here. 3 more. So breathing so deep as I do that you even breathe into the bones of the pelvis, into the sacroiliac joint. Try to push really the ribs down and out and back, and then the organs are rising more down into this area and you get even wider in the lower back. One more here. Come back, sit back, push the feet here clearly in the ground, find the back, the front foot, hero foot, and then taking your elbows on the ball. And remember external rotation and hollowness. And you see here very clear that when the elbow goes down, the armpit goes up. So now with the breathing, you're working from the hollowness in the shoulder girdle. You breathe in, you reach forward, and you breathe out and you reach backwards with the hip. So shoulder or armpit, or we can call it also upper arm, rising up, and when you're going down, they stay rising up and lengthening against the hips. Inhalation, exhalation, and there's a counterbalance between elbow and shoulder girdle. So now I have to look at my neck, that it's coming more from the heart. So do all you did, but now radiant heart in all sides, up into the throat, up into the head, finding an idea of a central channel also in the neck. No squeezing here. One more inhalation, up, lengthen, and back. Now we can use this in another angle. Put the ball against the wall, and here take care that you're really lifting the pelvic floor, like imagine that pelvic floor like a big eye, want to look into the ball. Here, releasing the fingertips first, then bending from the first joints, and also here finding hollowness in the middle of the hand. Squeeze the base line, elbows to the side, little balls in the armpit, and starting to find the elasticity when you're pushing against the ball. The sacrum is tilted, and you can play here with different rhythm. Maybe you like to think you are on a trampoline, or maybe you like to feel the stretching even deeper when you're going slower. Use the breath again. Inhale forward, exhale back, or just hoppy. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, bring the right leg a bit more in. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder, lifting the left finger, and then without tucking under, knee first to the fore and to the side. So here, finding a sort of inner spiral. This leg spirals back and up. Grab the sit bone, pull yourself into direction, back and forth. Hand on the head and finding little pulse here. Leaning to the side, right foot more to the side, and one push, feet, toes down and forward, hips back, open belly, stretch it out. And now let's go a step further. Bring the left foot more forward. Bring the pelvis again more backward and up. Fingertips, dome hand. Now, maybe to make it more clear, shin bone forward, hips back. Shin bone forward, and really working on the idea of the femur bone, which push into a socket, also here finding roundness in the hip, into a socket, and then back and a bit up, back and up. Shin bone reach forward, hamstring reach backward. And then do this without pushing. A few times here. Touch the knee, push the knee forward, and even more counterbalance in this bone, forward and backward, maybe leaning even the belly forward, and seeing both hips want to go back. Good. From here, let's step further and bring the right foot against the ball. Check that this is in alignment with the ankle, and find the pushing, not on the toes, but the pushing of the middle of the ball. Yeah, this bubbling source here. This, what I call sometimes the rooting point. Push it down and feel what this makes with the back hamstrings. So now push knee forward, push feet down, back, down into the ball, and finding the pelvic floor like ice, pulling backward like you want to win a race. So what happens a bit here is that my pelvis goes forward. No, but we want to resist. Do this a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even here the hamstrings are very active. Then lift the knee, come back. I feel it already in the back leg, and then it's nice to bounce it out a bit here. So bouncing and hopping and maybe feeling the difference. So for the change, release, ear to the side, right leg up, sacrum tilt, left foot a bit to the left, open the knee first, then put it down. Here, reach and check where are my bones. Really thinking the bones sticking into the ball through the wall. First fingertips, also here lightness in the arms. Centric channel, more forward and also back. Hollowness in the joints. Inhalation and exhalation. One more. Good. From here, next step, right foot forward and parallel. Maybe the ball needs to be adjusted. So, no roundness here. Length, double S curve to see where the sit bone and even the humerus head is pushing in my ball, where the sit bone stays wide, the knee forward and the hips backward. You can work here again with the fingers, which makes it maybe more clear. And now separating armpit against hips. Don't tuck them under, take them up. But while you take the hips up somehow, thinking the right femur bone downward into the hamstring. And then it is like you're firing the hamstring. You're firing the switching it on. Let's call it like that. One more here. Maybe the shin. Here also pull the shin down, up, forward, and reach the hip backward and up. One more here, soft fingers, I forgot. And then from here. Push. And see the tendency. No. We want to have the hips back. We want to have the hamstring back. Why? And this works. Maybe the right foot more to the side, that it's not too much pressure. Maybe let's put fists here, that we're not stiff in the fingers. And now, sacrum forward, sit bones back and out. Maybe hands more forward. And then work again the foot. Foot, push, but knee forward, left left hip back and out. Ooh, this is so intense. Yes. One more, and then let's use this position to put the other foot into the ball. And the arms wider and more forward, reaching here a little bit. Long belly, wide and deep heart. Push the feet, reach the hips. One more here, and then ice pick. Hollowness in the outer wrist, and here working from the armpit against the hips, finding the side body long, but also the lower belly down and forward, the ribs rising in all direction. The diaphragm is also like a half balloon. Breathe in, come forward, exhale out. Few more. Really working with the resistance of the ball and the feet. Maybe the feet can even turn out a bit. The knee can turn in, and then finding the inner spiral in the, this is a good adjustment. The inner spiral in the adductors, back and out. This opens my pelvic floor wall. I can push more the lower arm down and widening the ribs. One more here. Good. Come up, step by step. Right ear to the right, knee to the side. Work with the hand, come to a squat, easy and light, lift up from the heart. And let's have here a bit more fluidity. Twist, release the toes. Lengthen them really far away, then rooting them down. Hips back, sit bones up, wide heart and side to side. Just here a little bit. Side to side or slower, decide what feels good. Just a reminder from the first video. And now let's go a bit to another topic. Finding the back ribs, and for me now it's allowed to melting into the ball. Maybe you tuck the pelvis under, this is not so important now, but finding a stretch here in the lower ribs. Breathing in and out here to deepening this, and see that the arm can reach forward, but the ribs can reach backward. Exhale, release the head. Just focusing on the area which we are not so aware because we can't see this here, but what helps us to find the double S curve later. Good, when you did this a few times, then the feet are more in front maybe, finding the right position of the ball. Now pull the sit bone back, nearly leaning in it, but don't collapse here, the rib forward. Push the ribs to the side and back. Finding the arms here. Maybe let's do this here one more time. Pull down and pull up with the shoulders or with the armpit. Inhalation. Exhalation. Inhalation. Exhalation. Push the arms out. Inhalation. Exhalation. In, out. Spiral. Down. Feel the ribs. Back ribs. Feel the neck free and long. One more. No. Using this now to stretch from out the ribs back, the hips back, but the arms forward. Seaweed sway. Side to side. Really see if both ribs are balancing back. Good. One more. And then spiral the arm, reaching, open to the sky. Good. Now a moment of some funny thing. Jumping and releasing. Also here, rising up from the shoulder, widening the shoulder. Feel what grip makes sense for you. Jumping, stretching the feet, breathing. And then circling into the pelvic floor, into the earth. See if your toes are soft and grounded. See if you can release the hips in the front. Also here using some arms if you want, but still on the idea, ribs and hips and hands are connected. Another jump. Breathe out. Okay. Let's go again to the wall. Some sitting, just a moment. We did this in the other video, so we just repeat this here. Soft toes, hollow in the ball of the feet, hollow in the armpit. Get the arms spiraled and pushing out, and hollow. And the hips, when I'm doing this in the shoulder, I get more volume in the hips. The head of the arm bone drops down, inwardly, back and out. And this all helps me to lift up. Push the weight into the front. Get the head long. Breathe in. And reach from deep hips down. The tendency here is, even in my way, to squeeze the head and the neck. So I push the head back, I pull the neck forward, even if I'm sitting down. One more here, and then some back bending here, reaching, feet in the ground, soft toes, hollowness in the ball of the foot, and even see if you can have the hollowness in the shoulder joint. Oh yes. From here, let's have some new stuff. So you put the ball against the wall. You go inside coil. You have the seat hands, not too much tension in the fingers. Even if you push it, push more from the wrist and from the middle of the hand. Push more from the ribs, from the heart and from the hips. So pushing in, rising back with the hip. Finding this counterbalance between hip and hand. Inhalation, hips back, exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. And then let's try another thing. Head rest, elbow here. This is more a lunge pose. Elbow against the ball, armpit up, arm spiral. Maybe you help with the hand and you push here and finding the strength on the side. You push, you lengthen the head still, and you're turning the head a bit to the opposite shoulder. You work on the back heel, out and back. You work on the back hip. Oh, and this is activating the latissimus. One more. Oh, yes, it feels really good. How is it then with the other side? Yeah, other side, side coil first. Seat hands. Hips back, toes soft, heels back and out. Find the right distance. Reach. No pressure in the head or in the throat. Release the throat and think you're rising out the heart into the neck, into the top of the head. That it's not a compensation in the neck. Good. From here, the next step was head rest. The hand is behind, the elbows here in. You spiral the arm. And what do we do here? More lunge and side bending, rotation. Let's see what is good for the neck here. Long neck, chin to shoulder. Open the side, activating the latissimus, ending by the arm and starting in the sacrum. So finding sort of triangle muscle which wraps around in the back body. I feel a bit stiff here in my neck, so I have to shake. Maybe I am doing even headrest here, that I have more clearness in my back neck. Good. Release a moment. Some pushing and widening some deep bending, shoulders wide. Okay, let's have some belly exercises. Ooh. Clear going down. So here the ball is very helpful. Soft fingers, hollowness in the middle of the hand, hollowness in the elbow, hollowness even in the shoulders, long neck, long belly, hollowness in the ball of the feet, turn them out, and then here if you want heel kick or leave the heels in the earth, in the air. 1. Keep the belly long, even if you're coming back. 1. 4 more. 2. Still working shoulders and hips together. Side to side, just soft and small. And then squeezing your ball. Take the hands together. Ooh, this is hard, not too low. See where is the best position for the ball. Not too low that you're crampy here. Yeah, so maybe shake the toes. See, yeah, I do too much. Maybe more up and out. Squeeze the adductors. 1 more. Also here you can do a little twisting. Shoulder girdle, pelvic girdle against each other. Squeezing the inner thighs. Oops, yes. Just a moment here. Release the hip, lengthen the hip. Maybe side to side if this feels good. Okay, and slowly we're coming to the final round. Go to the side, roll up, and come up. This wasn't so much spring anyway. Here, some things are important, some key action. Soft toes, knees parallel, don't bring them too much out. Hips down. Get the thumb under the arms, under the upper arms. And remember, finding the middle. No tension here. Find it from under. And now you were activating all the muscles. Now this latissimus coming from here like a triangle and ending here. And when you're activating the hollowness, this is the back wall. Then you have the pectoralis, this is the front wall. And in between you can work from both sides. So that helps the hips. Shoulders, and then I can drop my hips even lower and back. Shoulders up and push it to the side while you're spiraling. Maybe you can do everything at once. Breathe in, come up, elbows down, shoulders wide. Exhale, reach back. Yeah, that feels good for me. I hope you can do all 3 actions at once. Spiraling, widening, and space, creating space. Use the breath. Now I do it different. Exhale down, deep hips. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And then I hope, like me, you are already close to a wall. Take the hands behind the head and put the elbows against the wall. Maybe take the left elbow first. Here also spiraling the arm and finding the elbow up to the ceiling and the arm put somehow down to the ground. Take it on the other side. Push in, spiraling out, armpit hollow. And then finding this all at once. Oh, that feels good. Soft toes, heavy hips, relaxed neck. Push here. Oh, wow. One more. Push the wall away. Pull the elbows up, the armpit to the floor. Good. This shoulder alignment can help you even here when you're pushing and lengthening the arms. Forward and backward. on the hips, toes are soft, knees up and hips down. Knees up and maybe bring them even closer to the upper body, but don't tuck the pelvis under. Feel that the sit bone's going behind you. So knees up, closer to the trunk. This feels good. Because then you can see I can drop my sit bones even down to the floor and even a bit more backwards. I have to work with the toes, I see. Now my tendency is to lift the toes. So pushing the toes forward, activating the front hip, and then putting the heels even more back, activating the back hip or the hamstrings. Knees up, knees closer, sit bone down and open. One more here. Okay, super. Last thing to prepare the final pose. Oops. Here, find the hands, softness in the fingers. Push feet forward, push hands backward, and just feel this first, like lengthening and finding the wave idea. The hips down, the ribs still wide, back and out. Come on. And then walking a bit with the feet closer. And the tendency here is to lift the heel. Drop the heels more down and finding more, I don't know if this is the word, a touching point from the front foot. Hips down, knee up and forward. Working this, whoops. And then push more weight on the inside of the right foot, hip to the right. More inner foot, outer hip, swing side to side. Balancing the throat also, I think I was tucking the shin bit in and working with the hands stable into the ball. Good. Maybe this is enough. Would you like to make a little break? Or, oops, or the ball is coming again. Let's do it. We'll put it maybe here. We go to a more challenging thing here. Knees back, feet forward, hips down, knees up, hands turned out. So try for yourself while I'm trying my best here. Push against, come onto the, and now I was adjusting even my feet to reach up. Whoa, and sinking here, just a little. Opening, hips staying down to the heel as you saw. And I think this is enough. Freedom both, side to side, releasing, softening the toes. And then bring the feet down, release the hips, release the arms. Breathe into the space of your inner body. Finding softness in toes and fingertips, in the jaw and in the base of the tongue. Finding more roundness from the middle of the hand, like you putting a little beautiful pearl into the middle of the hand, so it's softening and deepening the ball of the hand. Singing this the same for the lower foot, front foot, softening and deepening. Also for the hips. Make it more heavy and more soft. And also for the heart and the third eye. More into the back more soft.